And number 17, Gabriel Cormier.
All right, fans, welcome to a kind of a strange Wednesday night matchup in the ACAA from Crandall University. Here, I'm Dave Tingley on ACAA TV and on YouTube. And this is the rare game where the starting lineups are dictated by foul trouble, I think. Normally you'd see Tim Ellison in the starting lineup for Mount Allison, but this game is a continuation of a game from 2 Sundays ago that left off 6:09 left in the second quarter with the Chargers leading 31-30. That's where we're going to pick up. We had floor problems here in a very, very mild November afternoon a couple weeks ago, so we're picking up here. 31-30, 6:08, clock running, second quarter as the Mount Allison Mounties and the Crandall Chargers get to work here in Crandall Gymnasium. Noah McCarthy down to Rashawn Ferguson. Minwoo Park's going to drive baseline, cut off, intercepted. James French, and the ball's going to find Tyree Cooper on the break. He's going to lay it in. 3-point lead for Crandall. Tyree Cooper coming off a terrific performance Sunday afternoon here in a quote-unquote upset of the 8th-ranked Stu Tommies. Crandall doesn't think it's an upset. Noah McCarthy, the league's leading scorer, drives in, met defensively. Stalwart defensively there was Cormier, Gabe Cormier. At the other end, a 3 there by Curtis is long. It's going to stay with the Chargers. The hustle from Tyree Cooper. So Mount A has found a starting lineup they like, not the 5 that are starting this game. Tim Ellison, as I mentioned, would probably be in the lineup, but he's got 2 on this restart. So it's Rashawn Ferguson and Connor Briand up front, who's been really good. The freshman in his minutes, but speaking of really good, Sasha Gauthier also picking up where he left off in a terrific performance on Sunday afternoon. Really kept Crandall along with, it was really him and Sasha Gauthier, pardon me, and who am I thinking off the bench? Dan Hawks, pardon me. I was blank for a second there, fans. Dan Hawks off the bench with 10 each in the first half on Sunday against Stu. While Brett Curtis took a little while to get cooking, as did Devon Glenn. Block shot there from Crandall on the 3 attempt by Jonas Monroe, and it's a very slow start for Mount A, and a quick one for the Chargers. And we're going to have a timeout, Mount A. They didn't get it, though. They wanted it, didn't get it. That's got to be a little frustrating for the coaching staff. Noah McCarthy, though, to Jonas Monroe. Good defense again from Crandall. Minwoo Park stuck in the corner. Gets it to Ferguson. He's going to pop a 3. It's long. That's not his shot. And Crandall now gets another opportunity to spread the lead. And a little frustration over there from the Mount A coaching staff with good reason. I mean, that was an obvious time for a timeout. He was calling for it, didn't get it, but we have a stoppage here. And now Mount A's got to talk it over. 7-0 jump from the Chargers out of the blocks in this one-of-a-kind, kind of odd feeling matchup. Just feels weird all the way around, picking up a game on a Wednesday in the middle of a week. So again, just kind of adding to the strangeness of Mount A's first half of their season. They've weathered it fairly well. A win here gets them up to 500. At 3-3, Crandall looking to go to 3-1. Not played as many games as Crandall. They have a busy weekend coming up. 2 games here Friday, 2 more Sunday. Well, 2, the doubleheader, the guys and the girls. So it's a big week for both the men's and women's teams. I am joined by my broadcast partner and daughter, Peyton, tonight. Hi, Peyton. So Wednesdays are the nights with the kids, and I didn't want to pass up that night, so here they are with me. Settled in to watch the game. Hope you're enjoying things on ACAA TV out there. And YouTube. So hope you're enjoying yourselves, fans. I know I am. So my hometown small college team, Crandall, and my alma mater, Mount A, matching up. It's always fun. Tough to know who to cheer for sometimes when they match up, kind of like the Raptors and the Bulls. in the NBA. One's a long-time love, and the other one's a more recent one. So Minwoo Park matched up against Tyree Cooper. Onto the wing now, Brett Curtis. Noah McCarthy watching him closely. Curtis was terrific in the first quarter and a half of the original setup of this game. Had 15 points, was raining in threes from everywhere. At that point, missed three from the wing from Gabe Cormier. Minwoo Park on the rebound. He's going to set things up, calm things down. He's a terrific veteran guard, just like Noah McCarthy. He sneaks inside, leaves it short. No rebound from Mount A. Ferguson now on the wing watching Curtis. Ferguson so excited with his development as the coaching staff of Mount A. Huge upside, bright future for Ferguson. Cormier now on the attack. Really good defense there from McCarthy, rebounded by Minwoo Park on the run. Over to Ferguson. Jonas Cormier now, he hasn't gotten cooking yet. Into Ferguson, up against French. French, pretty straight up, but I think that kind of at that last second was tempted, and his hands kind of came down and tried to block that shot of Ferguson. You got to stay perfectly vertical. He didn't, and Ferguson's going to the line for 2 free throws. Ferguson, the freshman from Nassau, Bahamas, makes the first. 6'6" with springs. And they know that he is a cornerstone of this team now and going forward. But really the time is now for guys like Minwoo Park and Noah McCarthy in their 5th year, this backcourt of Mount A's. They don't care how young their teammates are and how bright the future is. They want to win now. Mount A thinks they can weather this first half, get into their own gym in the second half, that brand new gym coming in Sackville. Ferguson gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Curtis had it knocked away, and here comes Ellison. Not sure how many that is. That's his 3rd, yeah. I had a feeling. He's had 2 since the restart. That means he's going to have to sit. Now if you're Ellison, you got to be smart down low. 3rd on him would be counterproductive at the moment. Nice look inside from Curtis. French not able to catch it cleanly, though. He did get it out to Cooper. And Cooper from 3. All strings for him. The lead now 10. Park uses that Ellison screen. Attracts all kinds of attention, and McCarthy's wide open. He gets it right back. Back down to 7. Boy, Ellison rolls hard, and he's become a real offensive threat. And without him being a threat offensively, you can sag off of him in that roll. Can't now, and that left McCarthy open. But Gabe Cormier danced inside, wasn't able to make the layup, but Crandall creates a second opportunity and gets away with one. The bank's open late in the Crandall gym on a Wednesday night, knocked away from Cooper, by Cooper from McCarthy. He's going to go and lay it in. The lead stretches to 12. Crandall really feeling themselves, confident coming off a win on Sunday against Stu. Ellison, though, he's going to try to get it back, and he does. He can make that. The big man, he's a threat on the roll, but he's a threat from the perimeter as well. Right back down to 9. Big shot from Ellison, boys. On the attack again. And again a second opportunity. Follows his own miss, did Gauthier. Cormier now works his way inside again. A little bunny he'd want back. Not able to get it to go. And now Park over to Ellison. He's going to do a handoff. No, cut off there by Curtis. Over to Monroe. Monroe watched closely by Cormier. Over to Ellison. Had the 3, not there though. Park, he's going to drive, and he finds a wide open Haynes Lacey new onto the court for, or pardon me, excuse me, that was Connor Briand. Open 3, back rimmed it. Good offensive possession though for Mount A. Now he made one. Cormier coming off a couple of missed bunnies. Stays on the attack and bangs that one down. Lead stretches to 11 again. Park out of the horn set for Mount A. Swings all the way over to Monroe. He's able to get up high and gather it. step back three. Oh, that is so smooth. He is a talent. Jonas Monroe. First shot he gets off is pure. Couple of big shots here from Mount A late in this quarter as we already approach halftime, fans. Again, Gauthier, his stellar first halves continue. He had a great one on Sunday and is having a great finish to this abbreviated first half today. Mount A is going to have a three at the buzzer, and it goes. Jonas Monroe with a huge one. Two big ones late, and Mount A feeling a little bit better about themselves going to this break. Yes, I know, fans, it came upon us quickly. Going to the break, 50-43. Crandall outscored Mount A by 6 in that 6-minute span since we took over here. And it's going to be a barn burner of a second half in the Crandall gym, fans. We'll see you in 14 and a half.
Welcome to Crandall University. Crandall is a Christian liberal arts university located on 200 acres of land in Moncton, New Brunswick, central to Atlantic Canada.
We're a part of the admissions team here at Crandall, and we're so happy to have you. Let's head inside. Right inside the main entrance of Stultz Hall is the Welcome Center, where the admissions team is located. For now, we're going to pass you off to Riley and Rebecca, who are going to lead you on your tour.
After your tour, we'd love to chat, get to know you, and answer any questions you may have. Feel free to reach out to us anytime.
SH177 is one of our larger lecture halls. While it seats 150, our average class size is 19 and we max our sizes at 75. It has comfortable chairs, charging stations, and this is where you'll have a lot of your first year classes. Our small class sizes make it an awesome opportunity to have discussion in class with your professor as well as with the other students around you. Here at Crandall, you're more than just a number. With our student to faculty ratio of 13:1, you really have that one-on-one personal touch with your professors, and they care about each of the students and want to find ways to mentor them and help them reach their goals.
Student Services is our one-stop shop here at Crandall. If you have any doubts, this is the place to be. Here you can set up appointments with the finance, registrar, and student life staff. So if you have any questions, come visit. There are many services here at Crandall to help you succeed. One is the Student Success and Writing Center. Here you can find rentable laptops and tutoring sessions, as well as some study tools. We have a computer lab and IT support for any of your technology needs. We have an on-campus counselor here who offers subsidized counseling if you are ever in need. And of course, we have our student life staff who put in hard work to make sure you have the best possible university experience.
On top of the academic services offered here on campus, there are also many other ways to get involved which will enrich your Crandall experience. For example, the Student Center is a great central location where you can take a break, hang out with your friends, and just play some games.
Yeah, and there's something for everybody here, from theater productions to outdoor adventure trips.
To even the many banquets and events that the Crandall Student Association plans here on campus.
And we have so many opportunities to volunteer in our community as well.
We're now in the commons of Stultz Hall, which was built in 2011. Here you'll find Corey's Cafe, which is a great spot to hang out with friends in between classes and grab a coffee or a snack, or even to sit down and have a full meal. Down the hall, you'll find the bookstore, which is a great spot to get your Crandall gear as well as all of the books that you'll need for any of your courses. The Commons are a great place to study and hang out with your friends, but we also have a lot of other places designated for studying. We have study rooms that can be booked out at the Student Services. We have a reading room as well as the library, which has all of the sources that you'll need for any of your papers as well as more study rooms which can be booked. We also offer free lockers for any of our students, which is a great resource for all of our off-campus students.
At Crandall University, we offer a large array of competitive undergraduate programs in arts, business, science, and education.
We also offer many professional and graduate programs in education and management for international and domestic students.
And when you graduate from here, not only will you be prepared for your career, but you will also have gone through some transformational growth that will propel you forward in your life so that you can make a larger impact on the world.
Welcome to the Great Hall, which is located in our second academic building, Murray Hall. When entering this space, you can see the flags that hang from the ceiling that represent the home countries of each one of our students from across the world. Through the Great Hall, you'll find our cafeteria, which offers 3 meals a day. Each meal includes a daily special, a salad and sandwich bar, as well as a short order station. Across the way, you'll find Britton Auditorium, which is a large gathering space used for holding plays and concerts, as well as our chapel services, which are offered twice a week. In addition to this, we also offer mentoring groups which meet once a week to foster community and spiritual growth within the school.
At the bottom of Murray Hall, you'll find our athletic facilities, which includes our court, our locker rooms, and the fitness center. Athletics are an integral part of life here at Crandall. The Crandall Chargers compete in the ACAA and are known for their passion, determination, and sportsmanship. Nearly 20% of our students here are involved in athletics, and that means they get to train with an Olympic-certified nutritionist, strength and conditioning coaches, and massage and physiotherapists who assist them year-round with both sport-specific training and performance.
Across from Kroll Field is our 2 residence buildings, Mitten Court and Colburn House. Colburn House has a pod-style setting, which means that you would share a living space with 3 other rooms. Each wing also has a laundry room and a lounge area. The lounge areas have a TV, a sink, a mini fridge, and a microwave. The building also has 2 common lounge areas, one with a full kitchen as well as a study room. Resident assistants also live on each wing and are there to offer community and support for the students.
Mitten Court is home to our fully furnished apartments. There are options of 2, 3, or 4 bedrooms and 2 to 3 bathrooms. Along with being fully furnished, they include all appliances and even in-floor heating. Both buildings are keycard access only and are a short walk to the academic buildings. They both also have free laundry and parking, and there's tons of storage.
Thank you for joining us on our tour of Crandall University.
We look forward to seeing you next time in person.
All right, fans, welcome back to the start of the second half of our abbreviated pick up where we left off 2 weeks ago game here in the Crandall Gymnasium between the Crandall Chargers and the Mount Allison Mounties. It really felt like that 6 minutes where we picked up from the restart from a couple Sundays ago. Really felt like Crandall put the pedal to the metal and almost feels like they should be up by more, but a couple of big threes late, 2 by Jonas Monroe, 1 by Noah McCarthy, another by Tim Ellison. Really kept Mount A close, and it feels like it should be more, but it's only a 7-point lead here for Crandall. So we'll reset with leading scores and that from stats from the abbreviated first half. But when you take into the entire first half into account from 2 weeks ago and tonight, Jonas Monroe leads all scorers and Mount A with 17. Those 2 threes were his 4th and 5th of this game. 5 for 6 from three-point land, to go with 3 rebounds. Noah McCarthy, that 3 gave him 10 to go along with 5 assists. They're the only players in double figures for Mount A. Crandall has 3. Brett Curtis was scoreless in the rest of that first, first half, fans. After going for 15 in the first quarter and a half when they first got together. Tyree Cooper continued his strong play from Sunday and the win over Stu he's up to 11 points, and Sasha Gauthier was great with 10. Here we go, fans, for what should be a fun second half. Jonas Monroe on the handoff to Noah McCarthy, the leading scorer in the ACAA, pulls up for 2, rims off, rebounded by Devon Glenn, best rebounding guard in this league by and a nice play at a halftime for Crandall, getting James French on the move. He's got an advantage over Ellison that way, foot speed wise, movement wise. They got him on the move, and he beat Ellison to the rim for 2, and now Ellison back rims a 3, bounces up out of bounds, and back to Crandall. Not the start that Mount A wanted, but Crandall off to a flying start again. Crandall doesn't run as deep as a lot of teams in this league, but the 6, 7, 8 guys they typically run with, they are going to be a handful. They have stepped up into the upper echelon of this league this year. They had the confidence to do so under the leadership of Coach McKillop, and they've done just that. Gabe Cormier gets a mouse in the house down low and takes him inside, lays it in for 2. So after a rough shooting start for Gabe tonight, he's made his last 2, and he's up to 4 on the night. And Jonas Monroe with the skip pass to nobody. And the Chargers have a chance to push this lead out further. It's already swelled to 11 here in the first minute, 15 seconds of this third quarter. Coming back to get it, Curtis. Right back to Devon Glenn. Going against Minwoo Park. Little brush screen there by Sasha Gauthier. French gets it to Gauthier. Manuel Adunya into the game for the Mounties. The step through and the finish. Sasha Gauthier. That's not a fluke. He's really refined that Euro step game. You saw it if you watched us here on ACA TV and YouTube on Sunday in the game matchup with Stu. And you're seeing it again now, and Crandall getting to the floor. James French on the step through and the finish. And the lead swells even more. It's 15 now. No timeout coming from the Mount A bench just yet. They got to save some here. Tim Ellison gets called for a travel before he can get called for an offensive foul. It was going to be one of the two. James French's defense. He hasn't been lighting up the scoreboard recently as French, but his value as a on the defensive end and as a screener and a passer these last couple of games has been invaluable. And other guys have been stepping up to the plate to score the ball. Here's one of them, Sasha Gauthier. He's going to use the screen by French. Get all the way to the rim against Adunya and lay it in. Gives a primal screen. Minwoo Park now. Mountain needs a hoop in the biggest way possible, and they go to the right guy to get it, but he side rims a three to Noah McCarthy. And now Gauthier on the push. He pulls up for a heat check. And check mark on the heat check for Sasha Gauthier. It's a 20-point lead to timeout Mount A. And the crowd loves it. How big has Sasha been? Last game he's going for a walk and telling people about it too. Feeling himself. This lead's gone from 7 to 20 in less than 3 minutes to start this third quarter. Mount A shell-shocked as they go to that bench. Pardon me, fans. Had a little 5-year-old update I needed to do here with the daughters. Sometimes, you know, you get a strange game rescheduled on a Wednesday night. You gotta roll with it as a broadcaster and a dad. So Mount A, this is gonna be a huge next few minutes for them. Now Crandall got up by 20 against Stu on Sunday, and the game was made very interesting late due to a series of unfortunate circumstances. Crandall's discipline has not been stellar the last couple of games at certain key points. Some unwanted technicals were the culprits on the island against Holland. And on Sunday in this gym against Stu, a couple of them let Stu back in, kind of drain the momentum from the building. Let's see if they don't want to let that happen here again today, and they get right on Jonas Monroe and turn him over, but then they turn it right back. Minwoo Park takes it right back. Jonas Monroe finds a wide open Noah McCarthy, and they make him pay for it. And now, that is not good. Devon Glenn going to the bench holding his shoulder, and he looks to be in a lot of discomfort. Hopefully that's a stinger. He's moving it around, so that looks better than, it's not hanging off him. Something doesn't look separated or dislocated or anything so disastrous, but definitely in a little bit of pain. Cormier now looking at a three. French fakes a three and takes it. Gets to Curtis. Nice closeout from Monroe. That was a force from Curtis. That had the look of I haven't shot the ball in a while. Shot. Not what you want. Allison on the handoff. Adunya. He gets bumped to the floor, and that's going to be a foul on Gauthier. Adunya was in the starting lineup, not a starter of late, not a penalty on Emmanuel. Just more indication of the starting lineup that they want to go with, including Rashawn Ferguson at the 4. They like that big mobile lineup with Ellison at the 5, Ferguson at the 4, and Jonas Monroe as a big 3. There's Ellison going to work down low. That's a good progress out of the timeout for the Mounties. They got the lead down to 15. And you got Adunya to finish my thought there. Adunya coming off the bench is that microwave oven, heating things up, scoring the ball. Oh my goodness. Cormier putting 3 guys on skates, dancing through the lane and laying it in. And McCarthy trying to get his body in there and get to the line, but good straight up defense by Crandall. And fouled is Curtis as he found French on the wing. 2 former Mounties. Minwoo Park on that foul, only his second. And Sasha Gauthier is going to key it in. Screen right back for him. And got nicely defended there. McCarthy got his hand on that 3. Back the other way comes Mount A, stuck 17 still. Ellison over to McCarthy. He's going to go baseline, not there. Gets to Minwoo Park for an open 3. Bottom. Min, woo, for 3. And it's back to 14. Little token pressure for the Mounties. Tyree Cooper back on the floor for Crandall. Good fake there from French. He found Gauthier out top. Not there on Adunya. Tyree Cooper now, he's going to have to create against the clock. Nicely defended there by Jonas Monroe. And good closeout by Ellison, and that's going to be turnover back to the Mounties. Onto the floor now, making his first appearance tonight, Gabe Powder. Excited about this youngster as well. Feel like along with Ferguson, he's one of those first years that's going to be a cornerstone for the Mounties. They're going right back to Ellison down low. He's going to face up in short rim, front rims, a jumper. Not the shot I don't think they wanted. He could have gotten a better one. Good old Timmy down there. Little zone here for Mount A. Curtis gets to French in the corner. French has to go down and get it. Not ideal on the rise and fire, and it was long. Little scoring drought here for Crandall, giving Mount A an avenue back into this game. Min-woo gets to the floor, gets back up again, almost finishes. He's a contortionist with that ball in his hand sometimes, as Min-woo just wasn't able to finish that shot. Cormier on the blow by, not able to finish though. Good fight down there from French, got it to Cooper. Good closeouts from Mount A though, just weren't able to finish that possession with a defensive rebound. They're gonna force another late Crandall one up against the clock. It's gonna be Cormier with a three. This time they finish it to the Mounties. Ellison on the board, still stuck 14. Horn set for Mount A, Ellison on the roll, not there. Min-woo on the penetration in the corner, down to Ellison, he drops it in, and it's gonna be two. And the lead's down to 12, and now the Crandall Chargers gotta call a timeout and regroup. Game of runs here. And Mount A putting a run right back on the Chargers, and it's down to 12. As we go to another timeout here. Fans, we discussed at the start of the year, it was kind of an accepted notion that there were the same top four as last year would be ascending that same kind of level this year in both the girls and guys side with the Mount A's, the Mount St. Vincent's, the Stews, and the Hollands. But the guys, particularly the guys at Crandall, felt like that was unfair to them. They felt like they were capable of cracking that top four, and they've done nothing to disprove that so far. Coming in 2-1, their only loss, a 5-point game on the island, where I mentioned they gave up a couple of technicals, just like they did here on Sunday against Stew. Lost the game by 5 when winning 3 of the 4 quarters, and gave up a 19-0 run in the third quarter, including 16-0 in a minute and 30 seconds, where they had one of those technicals and a couple of bad turnovers. So without that run, they'd be an undefeated team at the moment, more than likely. Gonna struggle to get another shot up here, but it rolls to Dan Hawks in the corner, but three is in and out. Noah McCarthy on the push and the pull-up. Short though. Probably could have gotten a better one on the run there, I think. Not a bad shot, an open 18-footer for Noah, but he could do better probably in that situation. But right back to them. With Brett Curtis turning the ball over. He's not been great since the restart. Haven't needed him, but you got to figure Curtis is going to be needed at some point. Here late, Min-woo on the penetration. Lots of contact, no call. Hawks again, he was great on Sunday against Stu, but that was kind of an unforced rush turnover. That's going to be a block, and it is. Yeah, that's a good call. I know the fans wanted a charge, but it's definitely blocks the right call there. Good step through from Noah McCarthy. He knew exactly what to do. That's my daughter Peyton says hello to all the fans out there. In between making TikToks on my phone here while we. Yes, yes. McCarthy makes the first. As I said, the league's leading scorer over, last I looked, 28 a game, I think, for Noah. In any event, he's been terrific carrying the Mounties through a tough opening half of this season, not having a gym, practicing at elementary schools, all that stuff. If you don't know the story, fans, it's been a rough ride for the guys and girls teams at Mount A so far this month. Tyron Cooper can't give him that much space. He's not a great shooter, so you want to play off him a little bit, but you can't give a guy that clever with the ball in his hands that much space to operate. He's going to create opportunities, and he did there, push the lead back to 12. But again, Crandall feels like, just has the feel like it should be a bigger lead than this. Mount A's made some threes. You know, gave up a big run from Crandall, but then they went into a big drought. Allison not able to finish, but then ripped it away and then knocked it off of Cormier. Coach McKillop doesn't agree. He thinks it should be Crandall ball, but it's going to stay with the Mounties. And Pormon, D'Lo Pormon, new into the game for the Mounties, is going to check it in. It's Ellison, and Powder, McCarthy, and Adunya are the 5 for the Mounties. Tyra Cooper, Brett Curtis, Gabe Cormier, Dan Hawks, and good news for Crandall fans, back in the game is Devon Glenn, still working on that shoulder. Probably was a stinger of some sort. And they're gonna call, I'm not sure what the call is. I think maybe he stepped in, no, they called an offensive foul on one of those screens on the out of bounds play on Noah McCarthy. Noah, don't think it quite agreed with the call, and as is usual, the fans delight in getting on Noah. He's a target at every gym. It's weird, he's in his 3rd year here. They still haven't figured out that he feeds off of that yet. Curtis, boy, I was gonna say he struggled, but you know he can get it going, just like he did 2 Sundays ago at the start of this game. He really had it cooking. He's one of those guys. He's not the most consistent shooter in the league. He's not the most consistent guy, but when he gets it cooking, he's one of the scarier ones. We saw one go, and that can get him really moving. It pushed the lead to 15. You can see Coach Tom McGill almost apologizing to him for taking him off after he hits one. He wants to give him a break here at the end of the 3rd quarter, have him fresh for the 4th, more than likely. Oh, a turnover at the out-of-bounds pass. Gabe Cormier rejects it. Good defense from Ferguson, but it went in anyway. And that was Mark Hoffer, Mark Hoffer on the finish there. Now another turnover as Pormon turns it over. This lead is threatening to swell even further. Pass, and Glenn with the big 3. Back rim, but rebounded by Cooper. He's gonna reset. Boy, this is a game of runs. Mount A just trying to get to the 3rd quarter break. And that is a huge Euro step from Cooper. Woo, boy. I don't know, you gotta have a new name for that one. The double Euro step, the Asia step, I don't know, that's a bigger continent. But it went in, and now Powder trying to answer. Boy, that's a big one for the freshman. Ooh, some big 3s from Mount A, keeping it within shouting distance. They did it at the end of the 2nd quarter, and that's a big one from Powder to get it down to 16 to start the 4th, unless back rim and not able to be rebounded by Hoffer, but a productive quarter nonetheless for Crandall. 74-58 as we go to the 3rd quarter break. And Mount A on their strange journey that this first half of the season has been for them just continues. this weird abbreviated Wednesday night game, traveling from Sackville to play a Crandall team playing really well right now. And if they hadn't already established themselves as worthy of being in discussion for one of the best in the league, between Sunday and today, I think they've secured their spot in that discussion of the Crandall Chargers with the way that these top 7 guys are playing. They're not going super deep into their bench, and so as long as they stay out of foul trouble, they're going to be a handful while they're developing that end of that bench. It's chock full of first and second year guys. Meanwhile, you got the top 7, you know, the Glens, the Curtises, the Coopers, Hoffer, Hawks, Gauthier, French, Gabe Cormier. That core, you're gonna have to outscore them. They can score the ball, they can defend, and Mount A is having a tough time cracking them and getting stops tonight since the restart. It's been largely all Crandall, but much like Sunday, you look up and you go, all right, but it's still, we're in control. We've outplayed them big time, but it's not, we haven't put them to bed yet. And out to start the fourth quarter, Noah McCarthy getting a little bit of rest. But you got Emmanuel Adunya, Minwoo Park, Jonas Monroe back in, Gabe Powder and Rashawn Ferguson. And for Crandall, it's Devon Glenn, Brett Curtis, Dan Hawks, Sasha Gauthier, and James French. And that's your 5 for both teams to start this fourth quarter. Here we go. Adunya watching Gauthier closely. The ball goes to French at the high post. Harassed by Ferguson. French beats him, gets it back out to Curtis with a, that's a tough one, with Adunya in his eye, and he came up short. Mount A and that UCLA screen to start. Getting the ball to their best player, Jonas Monroe. Somehow manages not to travel and throws it away. Boy, that was tough right off the bat. Not a clean catch off that UCLA cut by Jonas Monroe. And that double team came fast and furious. Monroe somehow kept that pivot foot down. And I thought he was going to get away with it, but that pass too high to Minwoo Park. Devon Glenn now. Curtis. French pulled his hand back, thought that was going opposite, wasn't there. Monroe gets the bump, and he's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. James French came over smartly to swat that shot, prevent a 3-point play. Now back in the game is Ellison. For Powder, and Powder, you got to be happy with his minutes. He was terrific in his limited minutes there, bridging the gap. And I was going to say, not sure how long it's going to be, but it won't be too long before it's McCarthy for Adunya. And you get your Mount A starting 5. But they want to be their finishing 5. 1 for 2 at the line for Monroe. Hawks now on the push. Smartly pulls it back. Glenn now calling for a screen from French. Back to French. French finds that's the shot that he wants in the corner, and he makes it. His feet were set that time, and he was wide open. That's the one he wants. Right back. Smart give and go from Ellison. Didn't go. Minwoo Park feels like he should have gone to the line. Ferguson, though, keeps skying in there. You see the pins that I'm talking about. French, that's only his, we'll see his second. No foul trouble there. Ferguson down with the first. We'll see if Mount A goes, I would imagine Coach Steve Chapman will go with this 5 as much as humanly possible for this fourth quarter. especially if they get him back in the game. Curtis with his feet set. Boy, I thought for sure he'd get that one up. Didn't. Ball found its way to Jonas Monroe. He's got 2 on him. Gets rid of it. That was close. McCarthy uses the rub screen. Minwoo Park, he's got an open 3. Side rims it. Ferguson comes down with it. Goes right back up. Look at the ground he covers with 1 or 2 steps. It looks like it has to be a travel. That's what the crowd and the Chargers are calling for. But he has those long legs and arms that carry him all over the key. All right, Ferguson's made the first in all 3 trips to the line so far. Missed the second in the first 2 trips. And he does again. Back rims the second. So 77-61, 8:08 clock running, 4th quarter here from Crandall University. The fans calling for Dan Hawks to get the ball. He didn't get it. Gauthier looking to make up for it. Gets into the lane, almost turns it over, gets it to Glenn, and Glenn, he's going to turn it over. No, it's off of Ferguson. Only 1.1 seconds on the shot clock, though. Miles Haynes-Lacey making his first appearance tonight. In for Jonas Monroe. I think it's to give Monroe just a brief break before the final stretch of this game. French against the clock. Puts up a prayer and it's answered. And boy, I'd be upset if I was the Mount A coaching staff. I know it's against the clock, but you gotta at least get a hand up. A big turnover there at one end. McCarthy felt like he got hit. Didn't get the call. Big swing there. The 3 against the shot clock. Boy, that was huge. The 3 against the shot clock. McCarthy on the penetration didn't get a call. Back the other end. 5 quick ones for Crandall. Now Minwoo Park's going to go to the bench, and Adunya, a little more scoring punch in the backcourt for Mount A. You lose a little bit of ball handling and a little bit of defense, and Curtis knocks it away from Ellison. It's a little too fancy. And they're going to call Ellison bumping into Hawks there. Wasn't able to secure the rebound. Ellison at 6'10". Biggest guy in the league. You get that rebound, keep it up high. He didn't, and Hawks made him pay for it. Deciding what to put on the clock there. It's going to be 14. And now if you're Mount A, do you, at this point, when is the point at which you go, you know what, we got bigger fish to fry in our weekend. Let's not risk anything. I would say you give it a few more minutes from here. Not quite yet. Confusing one for both coaches, even the coach that benefited from it. You give us that call after lots and lots of contact that wasn't called. That's the discussion going on. Did seem to be a bit of a confusing one, and the pattern continues for Rashawn. Bangs the first one in. Can he make the second? Make it a successful trip to the line. He does. 2 for 2 for Rashawn. The lead down to 23. Cooper now. Crandall took the air out of the ball a little bit with a big lead in the 4th quarter on Sunday, a little bit too much. Hoffer collects that rebound, but yeah, it was a little awkward that catching that air ball kind of in the paint sometimes. You want to go back up with it, but then you're like, it's awkward, so your brain moves too fast for your feet and you turn it back over. So Mount A, they have any more runs left in them. And now Adunya and Cooper. Cooper's gotten Adunya's head a little bit. And the chit-chat continues. Cooper just a little bit of mind games. The mental gains being won a little bit by Crandall tonight. Cooper, nice layoff there. Oh, pretty stuff from Cormier. Found a wide open Sasha Gauthier in the corner, was able to collect his own miss. Another collect there from Cooper. Lots of hands all over the place. That's better from Ellison. Get that ball up top. They can't take it from you there. They can only foul you. And the Crandall fans mystifyingly asked for it to be called on Crandall too, or on Mount A too. Well, okay. So Tim Ellison to the line now for a couple shots. And if you hear the soundtrack in the background, that's my daughter performing for you. Probably something from Frozen. Okay. I didn't need your added commentary, Peyton, but thank you. As Ellison goes 2 for 2. It was the Emperor's New Groove, in case you were wondering, fans. So it's Crandall with a 21-point lead now. They had a 20-point lead that dwindled down to 4 or 5 late on Sunday. Let's see if they can do a better job closing this one out tonight, and that'll help. Took his eye off it to Jonas Monroe. Taps his chest, that's on me. In comes Connor Brienne for Rashawn Ferguson. Done some good work since the restart tonight. Has Ferguson on the boards. Hustle points, getting to the line. 5 for 8 since the restart from the line. Cormier, good shot fake. Ball fake, pardon me. Reversal, right back to Hoffer. Out to Cooper. Cooper now is going to have to create against the clock. Hoffer's going to come out, offer him a screen. Brushes off it, pulls up for 2. Front rim, rebounded by Haynes Lacey. He's going to push. And he goes all the way. Tries to lay it in with his left hand. Not able to be done, and Hoffer controls that rebound nicely. Monroe now trying to create havoc on Curtis, but Curtis gets it across court to Cooper. Hoffer inside, he goes up, tries against Ellison. That was never going to happen. McCarthy now on the attack. Oh, a sweet move behind the back. They're going to call a charge on that one. I think it's a good call. Looked like Gauthier had his feet set. Slick move from McCarthy, but Gauthier guessed right. McCarthy doesn't agree with the call. Looked like the right one at full speed. And he's gonna protest, but the unblemished record of refs not changing their opinion continues into the 100th year of basketball. Curtis swings at the nobody. Crandall enjoying a laugh about that one on the sidelines. Timeout Mount A. And I'd be shocked if there weren't some wholesale substitutions here. Taking this for a second, okay? Just for a second, I'll be right back. So fans, we'll look at the upcoming schedule here for these teams as we look to the future. It's a busy weekend in the ACAA this weekend. We hope everybody tunes in to all the games, and we'll kind of lay it out for you how it's gonna go this weekend. All right. Let me get to the right dates for everybody here. So this weekend, starting on Friday night, November the 25th, Holland's playing Crandall in this gym. 6 o'clock the girls game, 8 o'clock the guys game. On Saturday, you can enjoy UMBSJ visiting King's College at 2 and 4. And Stu visiting Mount St. Vincent. That's a game you're not going to want to miss for sure. 3 and 5, both ways. Lots of ranked teams in those matchups. And then on Sunday, you got Stu visiting King's College, Mount A visiting UMBSJ, and the Mount here at Crandall. 3 and 5 are the girls and guys games. Back to the action here. Jonas Monroe misses a jumper, gets it back for another one. He's pure on that one. Leads down to 19. Did not sub players off. So Coach Chapman has other things in mind rather than saving the legs of some of his players. Haynes Lacey now riding Curtis. Curtis felt he got hit, did not. Inside for 2 is Gabe Powder. And the lead's down to 17. Crandall doesn't make these fans feel comfortable always, even with big leads. But they should be in good shape to go home happy tonight. And just as I say that, Hoffer, the ball out of bounds back to Mount A. Coming into the game for Crandall, Colby McIntosh. Big star in high school basketball next year. I called his high school championship game in Harbor Station last year, which he was victorious. He's an up-and-comer for this Crandall team, that's for sure. Haynes Lacey on the bounce, lays it in, down to 15 now. 2:21 remaining. And into the game for Mount A, Simon Tector now. Crandall turns it back over again, down to 15, and Crandall's going to call a timeout. They're not going to make it interesting again, are they, fans? I'm not going to jinx them this time. Well, I probably already did. I can't really avoid it. So the lead, in case you missed it, the lead was 20 at its biggest on Sunday in this jam, and Devon Glenn made it 3 at the start of that, somewhere in the middle of that, or at the start of that fourth quarter, and it was end of a really big run. And as he shot it, I said, if this goes in, the top's going to go off this gym, and sure enough, it did, and then immediately was deflated by a bad technical, taunting kind of technical against Crandall. And if you want to join the big boys and be part of that top upper echelon of this league, 1, act like you've been there before, and number 2, you can't make stupid plays like that and just allow good teams back in. Now, you know, it's a long stretch to say that Mount A is going to get back into this game with only a little over 2 minutes remaining, but certainly not pretty the last couple of minutes from Crandall. And Coach Todd McKillop's got a super talented squad that luckily has gotten himself out to some big leads lately. Against Holland, got off to a big lead. Stu and Mount A, 3 of the heavy hitters in the league. They've closed out one of them, lost the lead in the other. Can they close out this one? And that's going to help. Hoffer steps in and picks off a pass. He's going to go to the line for 2 free throws. Pormon back in for the Mounties here in a moment.
Foul on Mounties, number 6, Jonas Monroe. Into the game for the Mounties, number 12, Momar Niang.
Oh, pardon me. That's Momar Niang into the game for the Mounties, making his first appearance. I just presumed it would be Dilio, but Momar into the game for his first minutes. Hoffer now going to work. Fake that fadeaway, got it out to Gabe Cormier. He's side rims at 3. Good box out there from Niang. He pushes the pace. Hands it off to Haynes Lacey. Not there. It's going to be a 3. Wide left from the wing from Niang. Now you're feeling comfortable, Crandall fans. And a nice move backdoor. Gabe Cormier. Oh, doesn't finish. Sweet feed there from Cooper. Back comes Niang. He's going to go right through the lane 1-on-3. Had a little crease. Had it knocked away, but he's going to, Mount A maintains possession. And a popular entry into the game for the Chargers, Ryan Campbell, the second-year player from Sussex. For the last minute 19, close things off here. Powder swings it all the way over to Haynes Lacey. He's going to pop a three, why not? And it goes. Haynes Lacey sees one go through. 12-point lead now, 86-74 as we come up on a minute remaining here in the Crandall gym. His fans love that move by Cooper, leaving Tector in the dust. Handoff, Campbell. Cooper now. Cooper calls from the screen from McIntosh. Gets around Tector all the way to the rim and lays it in around Haynes Lacey. Cooper's been really good for Crandall these last couple games. And he's been real confident in doing it and not hiding things from his opposition either. Got in the head a little bit of E-Man tonight for Mount A, Mr. Adunya. Offer, McIntosh now. Nice kick by McIntosh. Cooper finds a better shooter. Good sharing of the ball there from Crandall. Don't come away with it, but terrific offense from them, and Mount A will dribble out. It turns out to be a 14-point loss here in this strange game that finishes finally after 2 weeks and 3 days, and Crandall pushes that record to 3-1, and the fans are waving goodbye to Mount A. You'll see him again in the second half of the season. Mount A drops to 2-4. They get to visit UMBSJ this weekend, try to bring that record back up close to 500, and Crandall's got a big weekend ahead of them against two of the better teams in this league. Can they really firm up their stance at the top of the standings? Join us in C-Fan. So Friday night, join us at 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock for the girls and the guys, and then Sunday, 3 and 5. Thanks for joining us tonight, fans. The final score from Moncton, Crandall 88, Mount A 74. We'll see you Friday night.